like a rock star, so I just figured I'd take the liberty. So I actually work as a personal assistant to a very nice family up in the hills. And as a personal assistant, you have to have a lot of random skills up your sleeve. So anytime they ask me if I can do something, I say yes, and then I YouTube it. And actually the house that I'm working at right now is under a huge amount of construction. And so the other day I heard these two construction workers talking to each other, and one was saying to the other, "Dude, I was so horny the other day. I must have jerked off like 4 times in a row." And I was like, I'm right here. I mean, did you think of me at all? So I was a total nerd growing up, and not like a nerd now. Nerds now are considered hipsters. I was a nerd in the 80s. Yeah, you know what that means. You've seen the movies. I had thick bifocal lenses, really short hair, and a very early memory of my cousin telling me that I looked like a fucking boy. She's living in Nebraska, addicted to meth. So, along with being a total nerd, I am completely clueless when it comes to men or sexual advances in general. A few years ago, I was working at this sushi restaurant down in Hollywood next to this boutique where this hot guy worked. I'd go in and pretend I was checking out the jewelry. And one Sunday morning, I'm standing in front of the restaurant and watching him hosing off the sidewalk, and I'm thinking about how wasteful he's being. We're in a water crisis. Why is he using a broom? Why isn't he using a broom? He's using a hose. And he thinks I'm checking him out, but I'm running the numbers in my head. I'm referencing to a National Geographic article somewhere. And he turns to me, and he squirts the hose up in the air, and he goes, "Feel like getting wet?" To which my response was, "No, that's okay, I gotta go in and work." And then I wandered into the restaurant, I paused, and then I realized, oh, he was flirting with me. 2 seconds too late. But there's always those few minutes where I was like, wait a second, he was looking at me like a sexual object. But what am I going to say? Sir, you can get me wet now. Awkward. So I've been seeing these billboards all over town for Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if you guys have seen them. It's got this model girl and this guy with this perfectly chiseled jaw and a scar across his face. Apparently he's the Beast in the scenario. So it's put on by the CW, which has to be one of the shittiest networks out there. They hire 40-year-olds to play teenagers. They have terrible acting, horrible scripts, ridiculous music, and it's the only thing that I watched. So along with nerdy things like Beauty and the Beast, I know all the words to Dirty Dancing. My sister and I learned them when I was 7. I always had to play Patrick Swayze. Didn't have a choice. And I learned a few key phrases. One of them was, nobody puts baby in a corner. That's the ending of the movie. I'm sorry to spoil it for any of you that haven't seen it. And then the other one was, baby? Is that your name, baby? Baby, you don't know shit about my problems. That got me in trouble in school. A lot of trouble. So I'm originally from Iowa, and it's always this time of year that I really start missing the seasons. Summer, swimming in the lake. Fall, walking through the leaves. Winter.
My God, why is it so cold? No one's meant to live like this. No one!
And spring. And actually my dad was actually just out here visiting. And we went down to see the USS Iowa, which is this big battleship stationed in San Pedro. And we were getting a tour of the ship, and they said that at one point the ship had 1,900 military men stationed on it. And I thought, if I was on that ship, God, I love those numbers. And so I had this male comedian a while back be like, "Are you saying you had 1,900 guys doing you?" And I was like, no, I don't want 1,900 guys to do me. I'm saying if there are 1,900 men, that means that 60% of them have got to be single. Of that 60%, maybe we're looking at a 50% of them that are actually single and straight. Then we're looking at the number odds. Have they been out to sea for 3 months, or have they been out to sea for 6 months? And if they've been out to sea for 9 months, I start looking better and better. Thank you very much.